What was the gap in the market that you had identified?
The gaps were there. The enterprise or the B2B rewards, incentives, and payouts as a vertical was very underserved.
Could you just explain in short the business model of your organization?
Yeah, so we are kind of a fintech company handling B2B rewards, incentives, and payouts. So our business model is very similar to what a Twilio or a Stripe business model is in that respect.
And so who are your target customers?
So today we have a very healthy mix of small, medium, and enterprise customers. We initially started catering to two major sectors, which is BFSI and IT/ITES.
Hello, sir. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. So, hello everyone. We have Manoj Agarwal here, who is the co-founder of Xoxoday, and I'm delighted that I'll be taking his interview today to know more about him and his startup. So, Manoj sir, would you please like to give a short introduction about yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Manoj. I'm one of the founders with Xoxoday.com. I come with around 15 years experience, having worked with companies like Yahoo and Flipkart. Most of my work is into technology, product, and marketing. And from a company perspective, we are four founders, and we started this company around 8 years back.
That's great. And sir, how did you come up with the idea of your startup?
Yeah, so I used to work with Flipkart way back in 2010-12, and my other co-founder Sumit, he was working with the Metro Cash and Carry that time, and both of us found that uh, gifting is a larger vertical in the transactions. For example, in Flipkart, gifting used to contribute almost like 2 to 3% of their overall GMV. Similarly, for Metro Cash and Carry, a lot of people used to buy for gifts. And that is where we found that gifting is still an underserved need in the Indian market. And that is where we started as an idea. I mean, our initial idea was around e-commerce for gifting, and then we made small course corrections as we moved along and reached to where we are today.
Okay, so yeah, great. That's great to hear. So now that you told the idea, so what was the most difficult part in the early stages of the company's growth?
Yeah, so a startup journey is always a roller coaster ride. I mean, you face challenges every single hour, and that is what was with us as well. Uh, the good part was two of us as founders in the early days. We came from business families who we have seen some of those nuances in our family businesses. So we were kind of very resilient and ready for facing those challenges. But some of the initial challenges, I would say, number one is you have to let your ego go. Both of us and our other two co-founders, we all came from very good pedigree in terms of academics as well as professional experience. But suddenly you realize that your ex-employer itself will take, say, few weeks to give you a meeting. So earlier you were in a commanding position, but now you are on the other side of the table, where you are even struggling to get that meeting from your own company where you used to work for. Uh, so one is don't carry any kind of ego. Let go any kind of ego when you start. That was learning number one for us. The second challenge was in terms of getting the right talent, because in early days nobody knows you as a company. People might know you as a person, but they don't know about your company. They don't trust your company and so on. So getting that right talent who will leave their current jobs or fortunes and kind of join your journey is really challenging. So that was the second challenge, and the third challenge I would say was uh, putting all the pieces together and running that company, whether it is finance, or operations or those nitty gritties around legal and compliance, taxation, and so on. Because those were slightly new areas for us. Though we theoretically knew those things, but we did not have practical experience on those things. So yeah, I think those were the initial challenges.
Got it, got it. And so, what was the like? Now that you told about your difficulties, the difficult part, and the challenges. So, what was the gap in the market that you had identified?
Yeah, so the gaps were there. I mean, the enterprise or the B2B rewards, incentives, and payouts as a vertical was very underserved. There are a lot of non technology kind of play already happening in different parts of the world, including India. But we did not find a lot of technology players who were tech first and product first solutions into B2B rewards, incentives, and payouts. And that is the gap which we picked, that how can we make this entire vertical very very seamless, very DIY or self-serve model for companies to buy. And uh, Most of the existing solutions were very service led solutions. For example, if I am a company and I'm looking for rewards and incentive solutions, I would generally go to some kind of a software company and ask them to build it for me, or I will use my typical in-house team to kind of build it. There were not many products around solving this, and that is where we found that gap, that there is a lack of product and technology in this area, and that is what we grabbed on.
And so, could you just explain in short the business model of your organization?
Yeah, so we are kind of a fintech company handling B2B rewards, incentives, and payouts. And these are across different personas, which can be for the employees of those companies, or for the sales teams of those companies, or the channel partners, or even the consumers. Now, companies spend almost like 2 to 15% of their budgets on different kind of rewards and incentives for across these personas I talked about, and uh, and then they need some ready-made plug and play technology solutions to do that. So, for example, it can be for their employee life cycle rewards, or it can be for consumer incentives. It can be for sales teams incentives, because sales team always run on incentives, or it can be for channel incentives for their distributors or dealers or resellers. Uh, so that is the business we are in. We charge our customers either on the transaction of every reward. So every reward which happens through our platform, there is a commission we get. And second is we also charge a SaaS fee, which is per user per month. So these are the kind of revenues we get from our clients. So our business model is very similar to what a Twilio or a Stripe business model is in that respect. Yes.
Okay. And so, who are your target customers?
So we started with SMB customers, which is small and mid-sized companies, and ranging from say 100 employees to 1,000 employees. And then we, as we progressed, we also added enterprise customers. So we added customers from 1,000 to 50,000 employees as well. So today we have a very healthy mix of small, medium, and enterprise customers. Uh, we initially started catering to two major sectors, which is BFSI and ITITS. But slowly we also added a lot of other sectors like FMCG, FMCD, market research, and so on. And in terms of the buyer decision, we started with talking to HRs who were our first buyers. And then once we started introducing sales incentives, then we added sales leaders as our buyers. And when we added consumer incentives, we added marketing leaders as our buyers. So today we have HR leaders, sales leaders, and marketing leaders as three different buyer personas for us.
And so, what are the products or services that you offer? And why do your customers choose your products or services?
Yeah, so for we offer employee rewards and incentives, sales commissions and sales incentives, channel incentives, and consumer incentives. So these are the four platforms, or you can say four solutions which we give to our customers. Now, for clients, it is very important to buy these kind of products because right from our childhood, I mean, we need something to do an action. I mean, you generally would hear that we give a chocolate to a child to do an action. So same applies when we keep growing. So we always need some kind of a appreciation or some kind of a reward to do some action. Uh, so that is the kind of psyche we kind of took as a business model, where a human always needs some kind of a motivation to reinforce the actions and the behaviors. And as long as there is business, there are employees, there are sales teams, and they will always need these solutions. So you always need to motivate your employees, your sales teams, your consumers to do those actions, and hence they rely on solutions like us.
Yeah, good to know that. And so, what are the three unique things, only like just three unique things that you would say it is unique only about you and that makes you better than your competitors?
Yeah, so great question. See, first is we are a very product first company. There have been a lot of services led companies in this space, but not many into which are product and tech first. So the quality of our product is very modern. The UI UX is very sleek, and it is completely DIY, which means that you can get started the way you start your Gmail account or a LinkedIn account. You can get started with our product in a similar way without talking to our sales guy. So that is point number one. The second point is we are deeply integrated into a lot of applications which companies already use. For example, our solution is already integrated with the likes of SAP or Salesforce or Microsoft Teams, Slack, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Qualtrics, SurveyMonkey, and so on. So it makes it extremely easy for companies to start using our product because they don't have to go to our product directly. They can use it from their existing applications which they are already using. And the third thing is we cater to multiple countries. So companies generally prefer to work with a single solution which can help them solve their problems for multiple geographies. And today we work in close to 30 to 40 geographies. And if there is a large company which has multiple offices in multiple countries, they would ideally like to work with us because we are already present in these countries.
Okay, so what is there in your organization? I mean, why should a job applicant work with you?
Yeah, a lot of things, as it says that people and culture are the single most differentiator and competitive advantage in this world today. And we are a very people and culture first company. We take care of our people in a very very big way. So, and then one of our products is into employee engagement, and hence we also understand these things very theoretically, and we practice what we preach internally as well. So people who are looking forward to join us can expect a fantastic workplace culture, a very people first organization. Things like career development, they can build their careers in the company. They can also uh, have a fantastic kind of coaching and mentoring, because we have a team of 200 plus employees, and many of the employees come with 10 plus years experience from marquee colleges like the IIMs and the IITs, and with very good professional experience. So the new joiners will always have a lot of time to kind of learn from these fantastic guys who are already part of the team. And then finally we are a high growth company working in a global market. So we give a very good exposure into the international markets, the best compensation as per the markets today.
So if it wasn't for your company, what do you think you would be doing today?
Uh, Great question. So I I have always been very passionate about education as a sector because I think the biggest thing which can change humanity for good is education. I was involved into education sector in the past. So if I was not doing this company, I would have been definitely doing something in the education sector, uh, making some changes in the lives of people. Yeah.
That's yeah, great to know that. And so basically, so there are some parameters on which we always make a selection. So on what parameters would you select your vendors and suppliers? Price, quality, or convenience?
First of all, quality, because quality is something which has to become a habit into the company, and that is one thing which is part of our value system as well. That we always have to excel in whatever we do. So we and then there are so many examples in our company where we have chosen a supplier based upon quality, even if the price was maybe 1/10 of the other supplier. So quality becomes a big benchmark because that is a long-term investment. The second is definitely in terms of the credibility and trust, because if that supplier already has exhibited credibility and trust in the market, we would like to go with them. I think price comes very late in the decision making. Yes.
Yeah, that's very well said. And what are the recent plans and long-term plans of your startup?
So the recent plans are that as a company, we progressed quite well, and we incubated some new products into the company in the last 2 3 years, and those products have now evolved very well for us. They are growing very well. So what we have done is today we are like three products in the company, and each of these products are doing very well. So we have created proper teams looking into these products, proper P&L for each of the product, and their own charter of growth. That is something which is an immediate kind of a thing where we are growing each of these three products very well individually. From a long-term perspective, we are looking to grow at a very good pace, especially in the international markets, and we aim to do a GMV of around $1.5 billion by 2025, and net revenue of around 110 million dollars by 2025. That is our revenue goal.
Okay, that's great to hear. And now that you also spoke about funds, right? So are you raising any external funds or willing to raise any external fund in the near future?
So we have been bootstrapped so far, and we have been growing quite well. For example, for this current year, we did a ARR of 5 million US dollars, and by the next year, we should be able to hit around 9 to 10 million dollars. Now, uh, we are not looking for any funds for our day-to-day operations because we are already doing well in that. But we are definitely looking for some funds to scale up our growth. So today we are growing by X. By raising a fund, we can actually grow say 3 to 4x. We are definitely looking to raise a fund which is in the range of say 5 to 10 million dollars. And whenever we come across a right fund, we will be happy to contact them.
Great to know. So just one last question I would have for you, sir, is that what is your feedback on startup lanes?
Uh, Great work from the team. I would say that startup lane is one of the catalyst into the entrepreneurial ecosystem in India. I would thank everyone who is part of the team, that you guys are doing a very selfless and a great work in creating more and more entrepreneurs in India and more job opportunities. So Thanks everyone, and I wish each one of you to do this great work. And please feel free to reach out to us in any ways we can contribute to this cause.
Thank you. So thank you for those kind words. So it was a great interviewing Mr. Manoj today. I hope that all the budding entrepreneurs and all those people in the market, I hope, I'm sure that your story of your startup struggles, whatever you shared with us, all of that is going to be of really help. So thank you. So thank you so much. And we would again like to keep touch with you in future if required. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye bye.